Dear friends, it is with great pleasure I want to welcome our guests from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association to the panel. ERSI DANOU, TING and SERGE RAKHLIN. First and foremost, I would like to underline that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and the Asian World Film Festival have had a solid bond and partnership for 6 years running. I would like to state that your commitment and tremendous contribution to the movie industry all around the world is priceless. Although your work does get certain debates going, it is through discussions and communications that we're able to get a balanced perspective into different topics. We at the Asian World Film Festival would like to express our sincere gratitude for your continued support and guidance. The Hollywood Foreign Press has been an incredible supporter of our cause, missions, and our ambitions. We look forward to working together for many more successful years to come. Our collaboration has already opened up doors and opportunities for many great people with great talent and vision. It also gives them courage to share their views that had been previously held back. Our aim is to promote films that expand our understanding of the multicultural world that we live in and learn to be tolerant towards one another in such a diverse society. We believe that this mutual respect for one another could be achieved even more through film. And this is where the Hollywood Foreign Press Association has made a huge contribution, and we hope that you will continue to do so. Lately, we're witnessing the politicization on cinema all around the world, so much so that the hard work that is going into making great movies is often not immediately recognized, which is why we're honored to have embarked on this journey together with you, and we look forward to bringing beautiful, emotional, and fun pieces of art for everybody to enjoy. As we strongly share your belief in true cinema, this has motivated us to continue to search for amazing movies, especially during these trying times of this past year. We are determined to be a strong and reliable partner in this respect, which is why your desire to continue improving the level of TV and movies entertainment has also become our goal. Together with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, we at the Asian World Film Festival are passionate about expanding film industries into all corners of the world in order to promote good filmmaking and filmmakers that actually deserve to be recognized. With your support, the positive results have already been projected on the international filmmaking industries. We have a strong bond and we will continue to strengthen our friendship that we have developed over the past years. And before we move on, my personal wish is to ask you to continue the hard work that you do, because what work is worth doing if you're not making a positive impact on somebody else's life? Whatever we can do to help and extend our support to you, we are just but a call away. Now please allow me to introduce our two moderators of our panel, Asel Cherniyazov and Rick Ambrose. Thank you guys very much for your time and your input. To everyone else watching, please stay tuned as we have many online events lined up that I'm sure you will enjoy. God bless and take care.
Well, great. On behalf of the Asian World Film Festival, we're very excited to welcome 3 members of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. All 3 are on the Foreign Language Committee. SERGE RAKHLIN is the chairman of the Foreign Language Committee, and he has been an executive producer on the Golden Globes show for many years, for which he was nominated for an Emmy. He's originally from Latvia, and he has been a journalist, and he serves on the jury of many different film festivals. ERSI DANOU is also on the Foreign Language Committee, the Film Committee, and she's originally from Greece. She's an entertainment writer, and she co-founded the Los Angeles Greek Film Festival. Then we have Ting, who is also on the Foreign Language Film Committee. She's a bilingual producer and journalist. I believe originally from China. She's been involved with US-Chinese co-productions, and she's currently a news producer and correspondent with the China Movie Channel and World Screen, the largest movie magazine in China. And I'd like to introduce I'm Rick Ambrose. I'd like to introduce my colleague, Asel Cherniyazova. She is the co-founder and managing director of the Asian World Film Festival, and she's involved in the programming of all the films. So I think we'll just jump right into the first question, if you don't mind, which is, what is the mission of the HFPA and who are the members?
should I answer?
Sure,
Yeah,
please.
I can do it, and my colleagues will add to it if I'm missing something. So I guess we have members from 52 countries, and they are journalists. Some of them are freelance, some of them are regular correspondents for some magazines and newspapers. So, but it doesn't matter for us, the status. They have to just write for foreign language countries, foreign countries actually. And the language could be English, but the publication shouldn't be in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So that's the main thing. And our main goal is a cultural exchange. You know, that it's the mission is a cultural. We have it stated. I cannot quote. Maybe ERSI knows the exact quote, but we have it in our bylaws. Our mission, the mission statement, that one of the things is a cultural exchange with different cultures between the U.S. and foreign countries.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Okay. Hi everyone, RC, Sergei, Ting, thank you again. On behalf of Asian World Film Festival, I would like to say thank you for taking your time to meet with us and to discuss HFPA, its mission, and the questions from our audience and from entire Asian region. So my question is, obviously there are many changes that are currently happening due to the pandemic situation. Can you name the pluses and minuses, if there are any, of the new online way of work?
I can answer this the way I see it. And again, my colleagues can add to what we see. Because we are organizing the foreign language film series, we have a very direct experience of the, as you say, the pluses and minuses of the pandemic. And the disadvantages are obvious to all of us. We miss the physical experience. We miss going to the theaters and seeing the films in the best way possible. And I think all of us, audience, members of organizations, all of us miss that, and especially the filmmakers who would love to see their films play in the theaters. So there is a lot that we miss. What we have gained is a connection to the world that before, although it was available to us, we didn't really pursue that. For example, right now with the foreign language film series, we have a Q&A at every part, and we get to meet the filmmakers wherever they are. So we've had filmmakers coming to us from their homes and speaking to us from all corners of the world. And that has been an amazing experience to us. And also, I think learning the secrets of the virtual world, it gives us many lessons that will stay with us and we'll utilize later. I don't think that we're going to be like this forever. I think at some point we'll get back to normal. It's just the way it is. It cannot be that we live with the virus forever. So I think when we get back to the theaters and we get to have physical experiences again with other people and filmmakers, I think then we can combine the knowledge that we have gained so far and have even better, organize better events and combine the two. Basically.
So then how is the submission process different this year? You know, if you can't show the films in the theaters, how are people submitting their films as compared to last year, let's say?
They submit the same way films on our website. They submit. But first of all, we need to check eligibility. That was used to be before, but the temporary rules which were introduced because of the COVID-19, allow some, flexibility to us and to foreign filmmakers. And because now we used to lately to have a 15 months window of releases in respective countries from October 1st of previous year to December 31st of current year, right? Now the release date is pushed to February 28th, basically, so that we give them the leeway to find a way to release their films. But also there is a very interesting new thing, because we asked before film released in the country or countries of origin if it's a co-production. Now it could be in any country, in any way of releasing, TV station, VOD, streaming service. So that's how it is now, but it's not forever.
Yes.
Just to add to my colleague's comments, I think the bright side of this year is that we stay at home, so we are more flexible. We have more time to watch all the films that are being submitted instead of driving to a theater and, to really cramming all the foreign language movies that we receive every year. So I feel like we get to watch more films at home. Of course, the experience is different, but I think that's the bright side.
Yeah, and then I can add to it. So sometimes we have little statistics. So sometimes the films from foreign filmmakers, which might not get many people into the screening room, they're watched by more members than usual.
Right. So it's getting a broader view.
The submission process has been extended this year. Is this because there are still hopes that a physical ceremony can take place?
No, submission is basically almost the same. It's just November 30th. It's not.
I mean, the ceremony.
Ceremony is formally announced on February 28th, and so far it didn't change at all.
Oh, I see.
But the question is what form it will have.
Yes.
Right. And so
I mean, are there any hopes that it still could be? I know.
I guess the whole hopes are dimming every day.
But I personally doubt it. We're going through the second wave, more cases of COVID-19 than ever before. I cannot see how it will get any better before the summer.
The only thing is that the positive side of it, that say Emmy showed that it's possible to do combined one with a lot of technology involved and the logistics, but people are able to do things now because there is some experience and maybe it will be not so bad as it seemed before.
Okay.
So Parasite won a lot of awards, obviously, last year. So do you feel there's a change in the perception of Asian cinema in Hollywood? A lot of times these awards are always won by European films. And have any Asian movies impressed you so far this year that you have seen?
It's a question, I guess, for Tintin.
Well, Rick, I think it's a great thing that Parasite was received so much attention last year. However, Golden Globes, we always have recognized Asian films. Like Japan actually received 15 nominations before and 5 wins. Indian films got 9 nominations, 6 wins. Taiwan got 6 nominations, 2 wins, and also China got more than 5 nominations as well. So I think Asian films have always been on our radar. It's just Parasite was phenomenal, and I think that's a great thing. I think HFPA will continue doing what we used to do, and we receive a lot of submissions from Asian countries every year. reach out to the filmmakers in Asia and just let them know, hey, actually your film is qualified, your film has won a lot of local awards, and we would love to showcase your film to our members. So that's like a big part of our mission. I think this year we'll continue doing that. And so far, several films have been really, really impressive. At least to me, one is Taiwan's film A Son that's being acquired by Netflix. It's now streaming on Netflix. And another one is by Hong Kong filmmaker Derek Tong, that's Better Days. It has won several big awards in Hong Kong Film Festival before. So those two movies are really impressive, and I admire those filmmakers who really didn't, get scared by Hollywood blockbuster. They just want to go out there and do their own thing, and they are mixing genres, telling local stories in a very unique way. So really, yeah, some good, great films, and I can't wait to see which film gets nominated. Hopefully.
I'd like to add to that list because of the foreign language film series. We have shown a few Asian films, and my personal favorites have been Wet Season from Singapore, that is going for the Oscar also, and Naomi Kawasa's True Mothers, incredible films.
And also, I would say that even one Swiss film was shown in the frame of the cooperation with the Yo Festival, Asian World.
Yes.
Yes.
Which I got disc today by actually Paradise War. It's on Asian subject about the native peoples of Malaysia, I guess.
See. At the moment, there is only one category for foreign language productions, or Best Motion Picture Foreign Language. So due to the increasing number of high quality foreign language films and TV series, do you think we're likely to see any changes to help increase the chances of foreign language productions being recognized?
First of all, I would say that it's not only one category, because it's only the foreign language film cannot be the best picture so far. Unlike the Academy, they have it now. But we have in our bylaws, any other category is available for foreign language filmmakers. Absolutely. Okay. Besides best picture, which have separate best foreign language picture. Yeah, but it could be best director, best screenplay, best actor. And we had a foreign filmmakers nominated for different categories.
I think Azel's also asking about television and digital streaming shows now, because there's been so much great product made for streamers. And correct me if I'm wrong, but right now, a television show, if you want to bring it into the HFPA, it has to have a US co-producer, correct? It can't be.
Yes, but it's not
foreign TV series.
It's not our turf. It's a television committee.
Right. I'm just the product coming out of television is so fantastic now.
But the films which are released on television or streaming or VOD, foreign, we have plenty of those, like from Netflix, from Amazon. We do have films which were released on TV.
However,
one way or another.
However, I do think that there are some ideas in the works, and we do have a committee that is looking toward the future and how we can make changes. And for sure, the business is changing. It's becoming more and more international, and I think we'll adjust to that. We're ready.
Great.
Yeah, Hollywood Foreign Press always was forthcoming and looking for changes in the world. We are not like an ancient organization, even we have 77 years or so. Yeah.
I think we really embrace the idea that in the future we might have a category for best international television series. It's just a trend, and the television production quality is just as good as cinema. It's sometimes it's even better, and they tell really good stories. So we are open to the idea, and it's just we needed to. I mean, you know, our organization, everything needs to be voted on. So it's a process, but never say never. It's we really embrace the idea.
Yes, I also can add to it that formally we accept foreign language television if it's co-produced already
with the U.S. partner.
With the U.S. partner. I can remember just from the top of my mind, like Deutschland 83 was accepted. There are some others which were accepted to run for Golden Globe nominations. Yes, but not that many yet. But of course,
are there any foreign language TV series which have impressed you recently?
There are many, but even a lot. But some of them don't qualify yet. Yeah, because I'm a big fan of foreign language television, and sometimes it's much better than, unfortunately, than a local one. So, but I'm like a crazy one looking around what else is on the streaming services, this language. And unfortunately now they have such a good dubbing even. So if you don't want to see film or television TV series in this language, you don't feel it or don't want it, you can switch to some other language to see. Because sometimes I watch Russian TV series in English or otherwise.
I think last year we had a Fonda from Israel, and we had Dark.
Germany.
Yeah, so those two television shows really stood out to me. Yeah, I think in the future we really have to, HFP really have to think about including those television shows.
Or maybe have a separate category, separate Golden Globes. somewhere on some island, I don't know.
So let's shift gears for a second, and could you tell us about the HFPA's philanthropic activities and what types of projects and organizations are you working with at the moment?
Yeah,
that's ERSI's turf.
Yes, I am in the grants committee. A few members, quite a few, I don't know the number exactly, but maybe 10 of us are assigned a few grantees. We have about 100 organizations that we support, mainly in California, here in Los Angeles, but also other places, Northern California, New York. And it's incredible. We have been focusing more and more on the organizations and the work that we do, and not only in supporting them, but also creating ties, creative relationships with these organizations so that they may benefit not only from a grant, but also from interconnections that can happen by bringing those organizations together. Film Independent is a very big grantee. They receive quite a bit of support from the HFPA for various programs. And then Cal State universities around town are supported in Los Angeles County, Cal Arts, American Film Institute, so many of them. Women in Film. We also try to find worthy organizations that support and represent underrepresented populations, minorities, women. I can talk a lot about this. So other organizations that we have them all here. The latest is Smithsonian Museum in Washington. So we have big organizations and then smaller organizations that really need the support, like I think it's called Las Fotos. It's a small organization that supports young kids from underrepresented areas that are interested in photography, and many more like this. And they can all be found on our website. And
I also can add just a little bit that just this year we distributed more than $5 million for those philanthropic causes.
And this year we introduced HFPA's first ever social justice grant of $300,000, and it was awarded to the Urban Peace Institute. What they do is they promote just policing, community safety, and the system reform to end violence and mass incarceration. So yeah, we constantly adding to our grantees list, and every year I feel we donate more money.
It's no, you just don't feel it. So it is.
That's great. That's wonderful.
Speaking about cinema as an art, I have a question. Since people's perception of information is changing due to the internet and large amount of online content, and it's very difficult to hold someone's attention for more than 2 hours, unless, of course, it's a work of a famous director. So how does the fast pace of today's world influence your personal perception of the cinema as art?
Good question.
Good question.
I would say, I don't know. I think there is a little bit, we're still working things out. We don't know exactly where the business is going, how it will transform. It's transforming as we're speaking. So it is difficult to say. For me, I love going to festivals and seeing movies in festivals. And I think festivals are, well, before the pandemic, they were doing really well. And it's a way of promoting film as art. Now, how this connects to the business side of the industry, actually making films and box office, having a box office success, this is not solved. We don't know, but there are films that are very artistic, beautiful, and they get lots of awards in festivals, but then they have very short life in the marketplace. For me, cinema, it was and is an art, and I don't want to see it any other way. That's what I have to say. It's to be continued.
So what percentage of the submitted films does an average HFPA member watch? And how many films do each of you watch, let's say?
If you ask me, that I cannot tell what is my record, but definitely more than 40, maybe 50. But this time I watched, I guess because we were preparing this series of foreign language films, special event, you know, that
yes.
So to get 16 films in the series, you can imagine how many you watch. Just select 16, because there are so many good ones and even almost great ones, but sometimes they don't fit the program somehow, but they all submitted. So what we do, if a film is not taken for the series, you know, accepted for the series, we immediately recommend to submit for general screening for our members. That's how we work.
I want to add here that we have we do have viewing committees now because it helps with the problem of having too many films and television shows to watch. So there is a viewing committee for television and a viewing committee for foreign films. Now, this does not mean that the viewing committee makes recommendations and the members follow those, but they are tasked with watching every one of the films, not each one, but altogether they will have viewed every film. So then there is no film that will be left out. And the same, I think, with the viewing committee of the television.
That's why we always encourage the studios and producers, distributors to submit their films early so we can fit them into our screening schedule. I think to answer the previous question about cinema and the bigger names versus artistic art house films, I think the line now between like big films and the small films, it's more blurry than before. For us, we go to so many film festivals like Sundance. We see all the films very early on every year. For example, a couple of years ago when Chloe Zhao, now a huge name because she just won the Venice Film Festival Best Film. When she did her first film, we actually wrote a story about her film on our website because our members went to Cannes and saw her film in a very small theater. So we constantly pay attention to the newcomers and the independent filmmakers. Even I feel like for the general public, the bigger names draw more attention. However, I think we, Golden Globes, really provide a platform for the newcomers and the small names to shine, as long as their work is truly captivating and exciting. I think along the past couple of decades, we recognized a lot of new filmmakers. So I think for us, we are not that worried about, oh, bigger names draw more attention and we will miss out the small names. For me personally, every year I try to watch as many films as I can. For foreign language movies, I also do like at least 35. I try to reach to 45 or even 50, but it's hard, you know, it's very tough. Because we have more and more television series, many mini series, TV movies. So yeah, we only have 24 hours a day, just like everybody. So, but yeah, we try our best.
Yeah, I can add a little that we have a website, of course, which have a different languages. Every member can write in his own language. We appreciate that. And especially they promote some filmmakers who nobody knows in English and sometimes in Spanish, which is read widely. And actually our website is visited by about 30 million people during the Golden Globe season. Original visitors, like 30 million or something. I don't know the latest, but it's very popular during the Golden Globes at least, but it works all year. And there's articles about filmmakers I never heard of, basically, but I read them. You know. Maybe many people in the world read them too. That's what we do. We have tools, you know, that website works for this purpose.
We have a question from the audience here. So, compared to over 6,000 Academy members, the HFPA consists of just over 90 members and obviously receive a lot of public attention. Do you feel certain responsibility and pressure being one of just 90 members representing the whole world?
I personally don't feel special pressure or special responsibility. I have a responsibility as a person, as a journalist, as a voting member, to vote my, you know, according to my, you know, artistic views, you know, my perception of art. That's what I'm not absolutely not touched by political trends or political correctness. That's me. I'm not saying about everybody. That to me, the art is art, you know, and that's my personal criteria. Of course, I would like to have more inclusion, more everything. I'm like everybody else. But when I see the film, I don't count representation, honestly. That's me. Others?
I think people talk about quantity. I think what we should focus on is quality, because our members really, I'm a relatively younger member to this organization, but I constantly learn so much about each member's country's culture and filmmakers, because that's what we do. We gather around and we recommend films from our countries to each other. And I think that really opens the door. And we are like families. We travel together, we eat together. Like sometimes I always joke about, I see my HFPA colleagues more than I see my husband, right? because we are always together. I don't think that Academy members spend that much time together. So I think the intercultural influence we have on each other is really, really special. But I do understand why people compare the numbers, because it's a large difference. But also people have to remember we are different than Academy. We are not filmmakers, we are journalists. So our point of view is different.
Yeah, and also we watch films. That's basically what we do. We watch films, write about films or filmmakers, but Academy members, most of them just work. They do make films, what they do. I don't know how many they can watch of the international features, they call them now, foreign films, and so on. I have no idea, but actually, sometimes I suspect they have less even time to watch films than us. And the numbers don't do, actually, it's interesting that press, which is not necessarily friendly to us sometimes, but they usually, when they praise our nomination and compare us favorably to Academy, sometimes, many times.
They say the Golden Globes is perhaps the best party in Hollywood. Here's a question from an audience member that came in. What are the most interesting or funny things that have happened during your interviews or at the Golden Globe ceremony? And which star have you enjoyed interviewing the most? For anyone.
Ladies.
Not to put you on the spot.
Ting.
I really enjoy talking with Australian and British actors, because they just came from this academic background, right? They were trained for years to act, and the passion just, you know, you can feel their passion when you interview them, and they really don't, you really don't feel like, oh, they are the mega stars. They are really humble, and they respect all the questions. They can repeat the same, they are being asked the same questions every day, right? But they are really passionate about what they do, and they mean what they say. So I can't think of anybody specifically, but that's my impression. I really enjoy talking to European, Australian filmmakers and actors.
I enjoy the directors of the films, even though they're not the most popular ones. I like asking questions to the directors, because they carry the vision of the film. So whenever a film touches me, I want to know what the whys and the hows of the director, and they are the best to answer.
Yeah, I also like to talk to British, basically, actors and filmmakers, because first of all, they have that sometimes not only the dramatic art study background, but sometimes they finished Oxford, they get graduated from different Cambridge, Oxford. Sometimes it just enriches you, just talk to them. That's one thing. And also as ERSI, I love to talk to directors.
Oh,
That's what makes
another group of people I really enjoy talking to is composers. Talk to composers quite often, and also sometimes even costume designers, the artists behind the film that general audience probably won't pay attention to, but from the interviews with them, we really know, oh, this is how those pieces come together. This is how the emotion of a film gets elevated by certain scoring or music or a song. So that's really helpful for us to evaluate a film as a whole instead of just watching the performance.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Compared to the Oscars, the Golden Globes are open to all foreign films with no pre-selection from the country. So last year, if I'm not mistaken, around something around like 100 foreign language films were submitted, over 90.
Mm-hmm. Over 90.
Yeah, Sergey, I think it's muted, yeah. So my question is how you deal with being swamped with a large number of films, foreign language films.
Sergey, you're muted.
So last year it was 92.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are right. That was about 100 submitted, but some of them didn't qualify. Unfortunately, good films from Nigeria, as Academy, we also unfortunately had to reject them because they are in pidgin English. They're not in, now, I don't know, with new name and everything, Academy would accept them, I guess. Yeah, because it's international feature now for them. To us, it's still foreign language. So we have a bylaw point that pidgin English is not accepted. Any dialects of English are not considered foreign, whatever how they speak it. So let's see how it goes. But I'm totally for not accepting films in English if it's still called foreign language category. And how we deal with it, first of all, eligibility, yeah, which I told before, you know, dates. Usually it is like 15 months, but let's see how it goes further. Maybe it comes back to about 15 months time frame. So then we deal with the screenings. Now it's basically easier for foreign filmmakers to get screening than not they then have to rent a screening room to pay quite a bit of money. And if there is a press conference, they don't have to arrange security and whatever. There is rent a room in the hotel. So for them, it's easier for foreign language now to be represented is much easier. It has to be seen how many will submit this year because the process is still going on. But it's quite easy. This year, it's quite easy. You just qualify by dates of release in your country, by language, which is not English. Could be 6 languages other than English. But there's a rule, 51% should be in non-English. Because if there's some English, like in Indian films, in some other films, and even see in my native Russian language, there are so many English words now. Sometimes I don't understand them even, how they make them.
It is very overwhelming to have like 90 or 100 films, the screeners mailed to our door every day. It's very overwhelming for sure. Also very exciting. But what HFPA has been doing that's really wonderful is, like ERSI said, that we have the foreign language film series along the year. So not only we we have that window before nomination to watch all the films. We actually have a year to watch 92 films or 100 films. So it doesn't feel that bad, but still it's a lot of film, a lot of content. And I think for us, we are so used to reading subtitles. So we don't really feel like, oh, the foreign language films that cost that much brain power to digest. But still, we need to sit down for that 2 hours to focus on watching a film. But as I said before, we really encourage the filmmakers to submit their films early on in the year instead of after October when all the screeners came to us.
And I will also add what I said before, that we do have viewing committees for the foreign language film category and also for television. And those committees, they have quite a number of members. And those committees, their task is to ensure that each film that is submitted has gotten viewed.
Mm-hmm.
Not by all members, but by some members. So
and also the members exchange views, they can say, oh, I just watched this. We cannot tell people how to vote, but I can tell ERSI, did you see that?
Serge, what you said earlier about foreign language films, I have a question here from a South African filmmaker. So he makes films in English because that's the predominant language, but they can't qualify because it's in English. So what should somebody do from a country like South Africa, Australia, others where English is the predominant language?
But we do have films from South Africa which are not predominant in English, but say like we have, if I'm not mistaken, ERSI, we have film Mofi, right? Which is mainly in Afrikaans, but with some English too. So it's not a big deal if you make. And by the way, we had one film won Golden Globe from South Africa in foreign language category.
Mm-hmm.
It was not in English.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2006. It was nominated Toti. There was.
It was nominated or won.
It was nominated for Best Foreign Language. That was the only nomination South African films have got so far. That was back in 2006. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have better memory than I do.
Oh, no, I'm just on our website because our website has all the information, like Wikipedia.
I have a question from Central Asia. So Sacha Baron Cohen is in many, many predictions for Oscar and Golden Globes, not only as a main actor, but also as a supporting actor from Chicago Trial, new film. So the question is, what is your attitude towards the new Borat movie and the situation around the movie?
I'm not sure we can comment on movies which are in the running.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we can probably technically write a review for some magazine in some foreign language, but I don't think that we have to involve ourselves in any political discussion. I will tell you something. Is it true or not? Maybe you know better because you're closer to Kazakhstan, that after first Borat, with all this brouhaha and the problems, the tourism to Kazakhstan increased in 30%, if it's not the better rumor. But they say, by the way, they just recently put together an ad for tourism, which uses the phrase from first Borat. Very nice. So it's a double-edged sword,
And I can see how somebody from Kazakhstan can be offended by the way the country is portrayed in the film. I don't think Sacha Baron Cohen intends to offend the country itself. It's a parody, so he just shows the country in a satirical way as well.
And you know, any more or less educated person will see it's not Kazakhstan, it's Romania. As it is now, you know, little bit of geography or how you perceive how people look in different countries. It's clear that it's not Kazakhstan, absolutely. To me, from the second one, I knew that it's Romania.
We talked to Sasha about a week ago, and what I really love about him is, you know, he always sees himself as an actor and comedian, not a philosopher or academic person who's commenting on social justice. I think that he really put himself in the right zone, that he doesn't really come out as, oh, actually you have to listen to me, but he's using films as a medium to express himself as an artist. That's what I really love about him. So I think this fan, he's onto something. I can't say, and I can't comment on Sasha's films, but I do like him as an artist.
By the way, he is almost a PhD, so he was very close to getting degree in some serious things. So when he speaks, it's educated British person. That's what he is.
Let's get back to that. Maybe one more question from the audience, if you don't mind. What is the hardest obstacle you've encountered in your work in the industry, and how did you overcome it?
I don't know. I remember for 25 years almost, and I don't remember that there was any hardship or anything, because people are forthcoming, people want to talk to us, and because I'm not organizing things for everything. So I felt very privileged, basically, that I can work freely in what I love. You know, it's for me, it's like a best possible situation. My hobby is my profession. That's me, and I have all the access to whatever I want to. Even I can choose, you know, have less than I'm offered.
And Ting, you're one of the newest members of the HFPA. So has it been an adjustment process, or?
Oh yeah, a lot of members still call me the new member, even I've been the organization for quite a while now. I do view myself as a newbie still, because I'm constantly learning. I don't see any obstacles of me being in the organization, but for my profession, I think the biggest hurdle would be the political atmosphere between China and America. It's always shifting. You never know what Trump's gonna say or do the next day. So I think about 5 or 6 years ago, when China and the US relationship was really good, a lot of Chinese studios were spending a fortune buying American films, and then my profession became so important to those films. It's like, you know, the China-US relationship is not that good. Then I feel like, oh, all of a sudden it just quiet down. So I don't like the fact that art, cinema, film, TV is become this. It's almost gets sacrificed by the political trends. So I hope all the Chinese filmmakers and American filmmakers can overcome that and really stay together and do good art. I hope that's gonna happen. Yeah, I think that's my biggest hurdle of my career.
And ERSI, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I feel like SERGE for the most part. The only thing I can say is that we are a non-profit organization, so we work in a very, our process is very democratic. So any new ideas, anything has to go through the general membership. And sometimes this causes the pains of democracy, but we value that. We value the democratic process, and I think it's great. And sometimes it becomes colorful because each member has a different opinion. So and it can become funny and colorful, and sometimes a little slow.
I can add, I can add.
Oh, sorry. We can have a reality TV show called Keep Up with the HFPA, if possible.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I also can add that it's interesting, you know, how the world can peacefully coexist. We are like a model of it, because even our country sometimes say, I have to tell to TING that wait, because I'm originally from the Soviet Union and Russia now, and some other republics when I lived in. So it was different all the time. It was a euphoria of communism going away. And then now Russia is bad guy again. So it's changes. So, but it's interesting that inside the association, even maybe our countries are not in a good relationships on the ground, but it's absolutely not felt in the association. We have Turkish members, we have Greek members, we have some where the conflicts are different ones. It absolutely doesn't affect us. Absolutely.
Hopefully film can make that bridge, that politics
Yeah,
gap.
absolutely. And you know that then we have that Q&A with filmmakers from different parts of the world, and they obviously, visibly enjoy it.
We should all take example from HFPA, the whole world, how to coexist and do some creative and positive things. Thank you very much, Sergey, Ting, RC. I'm sure this panel will be very informative and helpful to all our filmmakers. Thank you so much for your support. Good luck to you all. Hopefully we will watch a lot of good movies, and a lot of good movies will get awards at Golden Globe ceremony. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see each other in person sometime soon.
Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.